Okay, welcome to today's chat. It's Friday, which means this is the fourth chat that we have done this week, and it's actually been really successful. So, welcome to the final chat here for science and engineering students. Um, Welcome again to those who've already taken part yesterday. Um, Hopefully, there's going to be a variety of different questions as well, so that is worth your time to take part in this again. So if you can all hear me, then please reply with yes. That would be great. Good start. Okay, just like I said before, if you can please start sending us your questions. We have a couple of questions that you've already submitted prior to this chat. But if you could think of any other questions, and you can start typing them, and we will go through them one by one. I will introduce the other people that are here with me. First of all, my name is Alessia, and I've been the person that has been in contact with you via Skype here. And for some of you, you might already be part of our Facebook group as well, so you might have already seen my profile or kind of introduced yourself there as well. Then we have one of our current students here, and it's a special day for him here because he has just found out that he has passed GIC, his course here, and will progress to the University of Glasgow. So it's going to be a special chat because you'll be able to find out the secrets of Sean's life and just on success exactly here at GIC. So you will get first-hand knowledge on what to do to progress to the university. So yeah, I've already said his name. So Sean, our current and almost former student now, I guess, of GIC. Yeah, former student of GIC is here. We have our science and engineering program leader, Andrew, here. So any kind of subject-related questions, feel free to send them to us. And we also have our progression coordinator, Donald, here. So he can answer any kind of questions that you might have about your changes of majors or, like I said, progressing to the university. Oh, somebody already says congratulations. Yes, that's lovely. Okay, so like I said, please start sending us your questions. We will start with the first question that you have already sent us previously, so which is a progression question, and somebody's asking, can I change my progression degree after I finish the course?
The answer to that is probably not. Once you've completed GIC, we send your grades up to Glasgow University. It's really up to them, but by the point you finish, courses are full, so it's very unlikely that you can change your course. What we would say is, if you are thinking about a course change, you need to do it really quickly when you start GIC. Ideally within the first 2 weeks. After that, there becomes more of a chance that we have to say no. So you should be taking time just now to look at the university website and be absolutely sure about the course that you're going on to at Glasgow University.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Donald. Just stop moving on my chair. It's a bit squeaky. Sorry, guys. Okay, now the next question, the subject-related question. The student would like to know how the modules are divided over the 2 terms. So maybe we could talk about what kind of modules there are and then how they're divided.
Yeah, well, I think you can say in general most of the modules run over 2 terms, which means that you'll be doing assessments in those modules probably either towards the end of the first term or at the start of the second term, and then at the end of the second term you'll have final assessments or exams or kind of big pieces of coursework to hand in. And I think the good thing about this is it gives you a bit more time to kind of adjust to studying here, so that you can kind of get into the swing of things here, so that you're kind of fully prepared for those kind of final end of program assessments.
Yeah. Okay. And if you could maybe give us an example, maybe Sean, you can talk about that, about what a typical day here at the college looks like.
typical about what assessment or holidays or something?
What
Maybe
you do?
the hours. What do you do on a? You wake up in the morning, you come to the
Okay.
college.
Well, just a common day. I wake up at 9. At 8. Sorry. At 9 we have classes. Sorry. And always just 1 or 2 in the classes in the morning, and have lunch. And afternoon maybe it's free or just 1 class. So I went to library to finish my essays or just self-study. And then in the night I went to gym sometime, and in the night is free time. So
Yeah.
it's a typical day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. And do you have a lunch break quite every day?
Yes. To be honest, my timetable is so lucky for I have 3 lunch break times.
Yeah.
But if the timetable is crashed, and maybe you just have 1 hour, so
Yeah.
you have a very short time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. Okay, you've already been sending us some questions, so we'll move on to them. I think some of you are having a little bit of problems actually dialing into the session. I know that the person who's asked that, I think at the moment will not hear me, but I will type this as well. I said this yesterday as well. We are recording the entire chat, so if you are not able to hear us properly at any point throughout the session, then don't worry, you'll be able to watch the video afterwards. And for those who are joining us from China, I know that the video that we are uploading to YouTube, that webpage is not available in China, but we have been successful in actually uploading it to our Chinese social media. I'm just currently awaiting the link to that page, and should definitely be available from Monday onwards. So when we send you our next pre-arrival email, we will be able to send you the link for the Chinese social media chat as well. Like I said, I will just type that just in case if you can't hear me properly. But we can already start answering one of the next question. How is the grading system?
How is the grading system? Well, we give, for most modules, we give students a grade out of 100. At the end of the module, you'll get a grade out of 100. And for students who are doing a foundation program, for most degrees, they need to get an average in their subjects of over 50 to progress to the university. And for students on the pre-masters program, it's over 60.
Yes.
I guess the one exception to that would be we have some students who are doing things like physics and mathematics where they need to get foundation students. They need to get a 55, but it will say in their offer letter what the target is they need to reach. And for all modules, a 40 is a pass mark. So I think the students coming here, new students here, one of the things they often find a bit confusing perhaps to begin with is that they're used to grading systems where it is possible, or most of the time, you're getting grades like 90% or 95%, and that's kind of like a good normal sort of grade. Whereas here, if you're a foundation student, anything above 50% is good. It means you're on track to progress to the university. And likewise for a pre-master student, anything above 60% is very good too, because it means you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Almost it's just over 60.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's the main thing we need to say about how the grading system here works.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. Okay, now another question here is, what do we need to bring on the first day? And then there's a second part to the question, but I'll answer that first question first. So on the first day for you, will actually be there will be the welcome event. So you won't have to bring you will have to bring certain things like your passport for you, because we will be doing we will complete your registration form with you together, but you will not have to bring any of your documents just yet. We will tell you on the Monday, on the 14th of September, again what kind of documents you need to bring, but on Monday you really just need to make sure that you are at the college for the time that you have been allocated, and you will receive an email for that with all the details, and you will need to bring your passport. with you, and then we'll just have a gentle induction into the registration process basically, and then it's just more about that you can meet other students in the afternoon. And then later on in the week you will have to provide all your documents, so this will range from your English language qualifications to your qualifications either at school or university, your transcripts, your accommodation contract, these things. But again, this is all detailed in the email that you will receive prior to your arrival, and your agent should have also been telling you that. So if you have not heard about this yet, go and speak to your agents and ask them for more information about that. Because it really makes your life a lot easier if you come with all the documents prepared during that week, because it saves you from having to then if you forgot maybe a document or you didn't know about it, then you will have to then make sure that it gets posted from your country, and obviously that takes a little while. So make sure that you bring all your documents. Again, all the information will be in the pre-arrival information that we're sending you via email. So make sure you access all of that and you read all the resources that we send you. Okay. Now the second part of the question is asking, what is a CAS letter? Now a CAS letter is a very important paper that you will need to bring with you yourself. It's basically a confirmation that you are allowed to join the college and to start your studies. And it really is important to actually obtain your visa in the beginning as well. So just make sure that you bring the letter with you. It also has a lot of information that should be useful to yourself, because it has your start date of the course, it has the end date of the course, it has the specific name of what your course, what you call the course is called. Does it also have the pathway on it? Not yet. No. So I think it's just your initial information, that all the things that you need to know about your course. Your starting point, like I said, your end point is on that CAS letter. So it's an important document that you should keep safe. It also sometimes, depending on what course you do, it might have certain results at the bottom of the letter. So it might have your results from your English language qualifications and your university or school qualifications. And this is also another method to check what kind of documents you need to bring with you, because this is already what you have provided in our admissions team, and these are the same documents that you will have to bring. So if you can't quite remember what you've given us, then you can check your CAS letter at the bottom, and it will tell you what certificates you have provided for admissions. Okay. Alright. Let's see.
Michelle, Deb was actually out of the office this afternoon.
Okay, we'll answer the subject related question first, and then we'll go back to an administrative one. Could you give me more information about the research project? Are we given topics to choose from? Do we choose the professor we want to work with? Will it include lab work, or is it just literature based?
So this is presumably a pre-master's student who's asking this question, because they do a big research project as part of the pre-master's program. It's sort of the main part of the program, really.
Yes.
And the idea is that you do a piece of research which is literature based rather than lab based, but in the field of study which you are trying to go into. So it's trying to get you to kind of show and develop a greater understanding of your subject area.
Yeah.
In terms of choosing the topic area, it is kind of ultimately up to the students themselves, but we will give you guidance and advice on that if necessary. And when it comes to choosing the professor we want to work with, well, the way it works is that you'll have kind of classes for this project, with a kind of class tutor, but you'll also have the opportunity to kind of meet other members of staff who perhaps have a particular expertise in that area and can give you advice on it. So yes, you do in that sense have some choice over who is going to be advising you on the project.
Sean, what did you do for your project? I know you told me.
I do a research about windworm and use it in Turkey. And I chose topic just from all the tips from a tutor or from my own tutor or the tutor in the class. And they give me some advices and tips about what topic or what area you should choose or you are interested in. And they give very useful and helpful tips to tell me how to do that.
Yeah.
And just when I need help, they will help me. They are very helpful.
Fantastic,
Yes.
great. Okay. Okay. The student wants to know a little bit more about the biometric residence permit. Okay. Now, this can be a bit more of a complex thing to explain because it depends on your arrival date, and it depends on the letter that you will have received that will tell you how to collect your biometric residence permit. On the letter, I think it's also referred to as BRP, and generally here when you come here, everybody is speaking about the BRP, so it's just the abbreviation for it. Which stands for Biometric Residence Permit. It's basically just a little bit of a new system. Usually students would only receive BRPs once they extended their UK visa when they are in the UK. Now it has changed. Now when you receive your first visa, your first Tier 4 student visa, you receive a visa for your passport that is valid for 1 month. And once you arrive in the UK, you have 10 days after your arrival to collect your BRP. The BRP is a little card that looks just like a bank card. And it's very handy actually because it will save you from having to carry your passport and visa with you all the time. You will just be able to have your BRP card in your wallet. So. And it basically just has the same information on the card that you will also find in the visa in your passport. The expiry date, the start date, the visa number, etc. will have the similar information, or if you will have to register with the police. Now, again, so you will have received a letter that tells you where to collect your BRP. It tells you when the BRP will be available, and these are really the two important things that you need to know about this. If you arrive before the 12th of September, we would encourage you to find the post office where you will have to collect your visa and already collect it. Because usually on the weekends the post office won't be open and it will just be very crowded and you won't really get there. Whereas after, if you arrive on the weekend and you come to us on the Monday, then we will help you to go to the post office. Not to go to the post office, but we will have arrangements to collect the BRPs. But like I said, we really would encourage you, if you arrive before the 12th of September, to go and collect your BRP as soon as possible, because starting from the 14th of September, it will be very crowded at the post office to collect your BRP, so it might be a little bit more tricky. So if you're there ready beforehand, you can collect it. And like I said, it's really just a little card that you're able to include in your wallet and to carry around with you. Okay, there's another question. Do we already have the CAS letter? I'm not quite sure. Would they already have the CAS letter?
Some of them might. It would depend on where they are in the admissions process. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. True.
Yeah. So questions with that, I would say contact the admissions office and they'll be able to help.
Yeah. Okay. So contact admissions if you have not received your letter yet.
It's quite clear on the CAS letter, is it? It is a CAS letter.
Yeah, because the offer letter will say this is not for visa purposes. Yeah. You're looking for one that's got a CAS number from the Home Office on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I have not received anything regarding the BRP, but I've already received my visa. How can I check when to collect my BRP? Let me just ask Ben. Ben, sorry, do you mind just joining us for a second? Yeah, do you mind just joining us for a second here? It's just so that you can be on the video as well. Okay, so everybody meet Ben. Hi. Ben is our, they can't see you through here, but yeah. Ben is our visa and compliance staff member here, so he'll be the one who's supporting you with any visa related questions. So just to read out the question again, and if you could maybe answer that, Ben. I've not received anything regarding the BRP, but I've already received my visa. How can I check when to collect my BRP?
could depend on which country you're from, because the BRP process has been announced for different countries, and some countries it was only introduced at the end of July. So if you applied for your visa before the 31st of July, then it's possible that you do not have a BRP. You need to check how long the visa in your passport is for. If the visa lasts until like 2016, then that means you do not need to collect the BRP. Your visa and the passport is valid for the whole course. But if the visa is 1 month long, then you do need to collect the BRP. You should have received a letter with your visa that would tell you when and where you can collect the BRP.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it would really depend on the country you're from and when you applied for the visa.
Okay. I think let me just check if yeah, he's saying he's from Brazil. Do you know anything about Brazil?
I can really quickly check the
Yeah,
list of countries.
if you want to, yeah. So Ben is just going away to quickly check the thing about the BRP. Maybe in the meantime we can answer another question. Okay, somebody's just, I think wants to maybe reiterate again, is it really impossible to change your course?
After you finish GIC,
Yeah.
I would say yes, you cannot change your course. Or sorry, I should say no, you cannot change your course. Students do ask, and sometimes the university will say yes, but that is not something that we can guarantee. So if you want to guarantee which course you are doing, you need to decide that when you start your course at GIC, or better still, sooner rather than later if you can arrange that now. And then your place is guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there's another question. How can we contact you when we arrive? Okay, so again, it depends really when you will arrive. I can send you the contact details for the college where you'll be able to call us. You can send us an email, or if you're here in Glasgow already, you can even say hi and come into the college if you like. If you're arriving during the arrivals weekend, then we have a dedicated emergency phone that you'll be able to call. Now again, if you've booked yourself onto a coach, or you've arranged for a meet and greet with a taxi, then you have received a form that confirms the date and the time of that pickup, and it has the number of the emergency phone on it as well. And you'll be able to phone that number 24/7, starting from I think it's the 12th of September, and then it will last for the next couple of weeks. You'll be able to use that number. But like I said, if you're arriving before the weekend already, then feel free to come into the college and ask us questions, or you can email us or call us. Especially if you're staying in student accommodation as well, there will be staff on site, of course, that you'll be able to talk to as well. And for those of you living in Franklin Point, you can always just take a couple of minutes walk over to the Globe and chat to the people in the Globe as well. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. Okay, quick update about Brazil.
A little update, yeah. So yeah, Brazil was introduced on 31st of July. So that would mean that if you applied for your visa before that date, I think you do not have a BRP. The easiest way to check is just check when your visa expires. If you only have 1 month on your visa, then yeah, you do have a BRP. But if you have a much longer visa, then you do not.
Okay.
So hopefully that answers it.
Yeah, that's fine. If not, if you don't quite have time just now to check it, that's okay. You can always check it afterwards and let us know if there's any kind of other issues. You can just send us a message on here, okay? Yeah. Okay. Now let me go back just to make sure that I've not missed out on any other questions here. Okay, we've answered this one. Yes. Okay. Ben, we might need you again, sorry. It's just another question about the BRP. If I'm not 18 yet, do my parents have to collect the BRP?
No, your parents they do not have to collect the BRP. The college can collect the BRP for you. So don't worry about that. We will do that all for you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so the next question I can see is, may we know the schedule for orientation week? You will receive a sample schedule of the orientation week on Monday. I keep talking about Monday, but Monday is a big day because we will send out our secondary arrival email to you and letting you know about lots more information about the college. So what happens, you will receive some login details and you'll be able to log into a web page which is called the Virtual Learning Environment from the college. We usually use this platform, students usually use this platform and tutors to upload course materials. Students will download their lecture notes from there, things like that. But we have made this available for you as well just now, so you can have lots of access to various different information regarding your orientation week. There's going to be sampled timetables for each of the courses. There's going to be reading lists available, and many more resources that should be helpful to you and will give you maybe a better idea and make you feel more comfortable before you actually arrive here, because you will know quite a lot of things. And this is something that students have been telling us actually in feedback feedback that we've received from students, that they said it would be quite helpful to know these things beforehand. So we really hope that this is something that you enjoy and that you find useful to read about. So this is all coming out on Monday. So be excited, and yeah, then you will know what's happening during orientation week. Okay, what if I can't attend the orientation week? I will be arriving on the 21st of September. Okay, now 21st of September, that is quite late. Now I hope that there's a specific reason why you cannot come to the country any earlier. So what happens, you will arrive on the 21st September, we will register you. You will have missed orientation week, but there will be some summary sessions happening in the following weeks. But on the 21st September your classes actually start, so it might mean that you might miss a class in the morning. It depends on what time you come to the college. You'll be able to come to the college and get registered from 9 o'clock onwards. And obviously depends on how many other students are here as well. So you might already miss a couple of classes, but it's the first week of teaching, so everybody's obviously just kind of finding their feet. Okay, so just make sure whatever time you arrive on the 21st of September that you come to the college after you've dropped your luggage at your accommodation. Okay. Okay, so that's an interesting question. People say we're supposed to learn from other people's mistakes. So what would Sean say his biggest mistake was when he, like in the whole process of GIC?
Well, I think the biggest problem is do not finish the essay until the last night before submit it. Yes, please do it early. Yes, if you do it tonight, you will have a sleep night, and you just write your essay, and everything you write is in chaos. Yes, don't do that. Finish it early.
Yes, I think that's some very good advice. Yes. Very good advice here to take part. Make sure that you prepare everything in time.
Actually, I just got 55 at this essay.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? wait for some more questions to come in. Like I said, just please, just carry on typing any question that comes to your mind, and we'll go through them all. Maybe since we talked about the biggest mistake, but maybe what other positives do you think? What do you think that you've done maybe quite well, and what do you think maybe has helped you pass your course and that you can help?
Well, first thing is about the essays, and try some tips about the software or some website can help you about your writing essays.
Mhm.
That's really helpful.
Mhm.
And second is just engage your time. I mean, just manage your time reasonable, and because there are always something happens and you can't engage that. So just make something early and make a plan about your or essays, assessment, or everything. Yes.
Yeah. So I think because you've talked about this a little bit before. So when you say, for example, you had your timetable of classes, but I think you also said you scheduled yourself time to allocate to studying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you planned every week that you had time to study. Yeah.
Make sure you can do something before the due, because you cannot do everything in the night before the due.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So when will I get my results?
Yeah, okay. When will I get my result for a 2-term student?
For a 2-term student, probably round about May. But once you start here, we will have a calendar, so we will be able to tell you when you come here when your exams will be and when you will get your results.
Okay.
So we'll be able to give you exact dates in September.
Fantastic. Okay. Next question. How do Glaswegians in general treat minorities, as in ethnical, foreigners, sexual identity?
I think they treat it in general very well.
Yeah.
You know, Glasgow's a big, diverse city with very friendly people. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, in general this would be a good place.
Yeah, I think you have to remember that Glasgow has quite a lot of universities actually. So just by going how many international students we have and how many people actually also stay here. So we've got quite a lot of members of staff here in the college who are from different countries, including myself. And you know, we actually decided to stay here because it's quite nice here. So yeah, I think it's definitely a very pleasant place to live. And not that I come from a country where these things were particularly bad, but I do find that I think people over here are a lot more tolerant, I would say. And I think it's just because people are a lot more friendly and they're a lot more open and helpful, and it doesn't really matter where you are from. I think especially if you're a little bit lost or you're not quite sure what to do, and you're kind of standing around on the road, people will just take you by the hand and just. It actually happened to me when I was looking for a flat here the first time I came over to Glasgow. And I was in a part of Glasgow where I didn't really know how to get back to the central station, and somebody just asked me if I was lost, and I said yeah, and they actually took me all the way on the bus and actually kind of took me to the central station and dropped me off there, you know, and just because they had a little bit of time. So and I think I've heard kind of similar stories happening to our students as well. So it's really something that repeats and really speaks for Glasgow. I think that they're very open.
What do you think, Sean?
I think the Glasgow are very friendly, and I always receive some help from neighbors or just passengers. Once I cannot open my flat door at the foundation, and I just knock the first floor window, and the people here open the door for me, and also they are very helpful. And once I was in a sub stop. A gentleman gave me a 4-day ticket just for me, because he said, "Oh, I have already finished using it. You keep it."
Oh, yeah, that's quite nice.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
I think the other thing to add to that, I mean, the question was quite varied. Sort of, what was it? Ethnicity, gender, and sexual identity.
Sexual identity, yeah.
I think the other thing is Glasgow's so diverse. Not just all the groups at the university, where you will find everything from women's groups, LGBT groups.
Yeah.
You'll also find that within Glasgow at large.
Yeah.
There's organisations and societies for all kinds of different things.
Definitely.
So I think whoever you are, wherever you're from, you'll
Yeah.
be welcome here. So
Yeah.
I
Yes.
wouldn't be worried about that.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's actually quite a big community when it comes to LGBT things here in Glasgow. So even kind of dedicated social spaces. Not that it's just for people like that, but I think it's really about that people just mix it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, with that, this weekend, I mean, you'll miss it, but this weekend is Pride weekend, and they're
Yeah.
expecting over 50,000 people. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
to celebrate. Okay. Okay, just a little bit more question to you, Sean. How did you divide and manage your time during a week on average?
Well, I think the first thing is I do all the studying works in the workdays. In the weekdays, sorry. I mean, don't leave them to the weekend, because in the weekend a lot of things to do. You want to free. You don't have time to do this. Just finish in the weekday. And second thing is do it as early as possible.
Yeah.
I just if I have nothing to do, I want to do the self-study and reading or
Yeah.
something, and research or something. Just do it early.
Yeah.
Don't let you free or cause you be lazy in bed.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good advice, especially like if you can manage to do everything during the week, because it just leaves you a lot of time on the weekend, like you said, you
Yeah.
have free time,
Parties
you
or
can go
something,
exactly
yeah.
parties, you can go out, meet all your friends, you can explore the country. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Can you recommend any places to go during your free time?
Oh, Edinburgh. If you want to travel, Edinburgh or the lake direction.
Lake District.
Lake
Yeah,
District,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There are a lot of small cities. Yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting, and castles everywhere.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, and also have parties with friends, birthday
Yeah.
party, or some just chat, drink. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you can have sports or games, ball games. They are very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think like the West End Festival.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, the West End Festival. Yeah, so like during the summer, the UK becomes a bit of a festival country. So there's plenty of things always going on, and I think even though maybe the weather might not always be that great, but I think people are still quite happy to have outdoor celebrations, especially here around the college. The West End Festival in Edinburgh at the moment is the biggest comedy and arts festival, and actually international festival as well, happening at the moment in Edinburgh. So it's so next year, when you actually be spending a summer here, you'll get to see all of these things happening here. But we also organise certain activities from the college as well. So you'll be able to join coach trips on the weekend to get to know different cities here in Scotland. There'll be like kind of smaller activities as well. So just things like if you want to, join and go to bowling together, go to the cinema. We'll have a little film club running down in the Globe, because there's a room with the TV downstairs. And I think they've also just told that they're adding Netflix to the room. So so I think it'll be pretty good. we can just watch entire seasons of things if you want to. So there's quite a lot of things happening from the college as well. So there's not really like you'll be spoilt for choice really, and things to do. I think it was just somebody said like, that it happened to them as well when they visited in May. I'm guessing this is relating to that the Glaswegians are so friendly. So yeah, so you've already experienced this. Sean, can you tell us more about Glasgow weather?
Well, the weather changes a lot. Yeah, there is no saying from my tutor. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Yeah, just wait 5 minutes. It will change actually.
Yeah.
It is a lot, not very cold, and even in summer it is just 20 or below 20. Temperature.
Yeah.
Very cozy.
Which for all the people from really hot countries, they'll be like, what? It's below 20.
It's never very cold.
No,
Yeah,
it really isn't.
if they are from tropical countries, maybe,
Yeah.
but not cold as
Yeah.
America or Canada somewhere.
No. Yeah, I think it really depends where you come from.
Yes.
We've said that a number of times. It's just if you come from a really cold country, or you're just used to having kind of really defined seasons, as in really cold winters, really hot summers, it will be a little bit different here in Glasgow. But it really is. You'll always be able to dress appropriately for the weather, and I think that's just something to remember. That don't get down from the weather. Just wear proper clothing and you'll be fine. Okay, UKVI says that the average cost of living outside of London would be about £820 per month. How does that compare to Glasgow? I've read that it is one of the cheapest cities in the UK. How much?
Certainly a lot cheaper than London.
Yeah.
I would say Glasgow is one of the cheaper cities I've lived in.
Yeah, I agree.
I've lived in Edinburgh as well, and it's a lot more expensive. I do think you could survive on £820 a month, but personally I think you would probably want a little bit more if you're planning travelling and having a social life. You probably want to have more than that. But you could do it. It's doable.
And one of the good things about living in Glasgow is there's so many things you can go and do that don't really cost any money at all. There's lots of kind of activities that have like the festivals and things like that, which are often free, and lots of events going on. So there's a lot of stuff to do, which
definitely.
even if you didn't have a lot of money to spend on doing it.
Yeah. Maybe Sean, can you maybe estimate how much money you maybe spend on like groceries, like food?
Well, for me, I think I use little. I just use maybe £500 per month because I cook at home. And I don't eat outside a lot. So that saves a lot of money. And second thing is I have young person and I outside. If it's close, I walk. And if it's farther, I will buy a train. I will take a train. So I save a lot of money in the transportation. So, and also the stuff or clothes is so cheap. So
especially with clothing and also in restaurants, you can get really good student discounts. And there's quite a lot of websites here in the UK as well where you can kind of download vouchers or something, where you can get 2 meals for the price of one, or where you can actually go out and have a proper, nice dinner, like 3-course dinners and things like that. So I think as long as you know where to find the information, and this is something that we can help you with, certainly, I think you'll be able to probably spend not that much money really here. I'm not actually quite sure if maybe the cost of living here with the 820, it might even include rent. And that, so it probably includes rent. So I think I do agree with Donna that if it includes rent, then it might be a bit little. But like Sean said, he lives on around about £500 a month.
But it includes the rent time.
Oh, it includes the rent as well. Oh, okay.
Includes rent. I think it's 800.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So that might be a good estimate. Okay, does one feel left out if they are living in private accommodation rather than university accommodation? Now, this is actually a good question for you because you've always lived in private accommodation.
I think in student accommodation is convenient. You have students, friends everywhere, and you can share time with them. But in a private flight, and sometimes you just feel lonely because you do not have friends to share time.
Okay.
Yeah, and also you should do everything for. If there is some events about the community, or there is something about your neighbors or something, it's a lot of things. So it's always bores me. So I don't know. I think next time I will live in a student accommodation.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you want to change it? I think it really depends on yourself. I think it also depends because obviously Sean says he meets his friends as well outside, and it might be different when you actually live in your room in a flat where there's no other students there. But I think other students would also say they would probably prefer to live in a private flat because there's maybe other things that they might not quite like about student accommodation where you have to share with a few more people. rather than living on a flat. But I think it definitely comes down to how much you want to engage and how much effort you make in engaging with your world outside. Even living in a private flat, you have neighbours, there's other people around. You know, depending on where you live, there will be local things to do. When you go to the gym, you can meet friends. When you join clubs or societies, you can meet new people. You'll be here in the college every day, you know, so there's plenty of opportunity to meet people. So you might actually enjoy a little bit of private time at the end of the day. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's personal experience, like,
Yes.
you know, personal preference, how you like it.
I think if you are going to live in private accommodation, it's good to get somewhere that is going to be quite close
Yeah.
to the university,
Oh,
or at least
yes.
other students. I think we've had a few students who've ended up getting private accommodation that's actually quite far
Far
from
away,
the
yeah.
college, and,
Yeah.
and that not only makes it hard for them to get in,
Yeah.
you know, to classes, but it also means that it's not so easy for them to participate in
Yeah.
some social activities and things outside of
Yeah.
class time.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
it's
that's true. That's
something
true.
to consider.
Yeah, although it is quite easy to travel here in Glasgow. So I think once you know, maybe for those that are living in student accommodation, but maybe further down the line are thinking about private accommodation, I think once you know the city quite well, you'll know your way around, and it'll be really easy for you to travel around here.
I think I was talking about people who chose to live
Yeah, of course.
outside
Yeah,
Glasgow.
Yeah, yeah. It's
For
just trying to
example.
cater for everybody
Yeah.
who's listening, so that nobody gets worried.
Yeah, Glasgow's not a big city, really, is it?
No.
It's not.
Not big,
No.
yeah.
No, not at all. I think also, like Sean said, you can walk pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere, and maybe if you're not quite used to walking from your home country, which I know is quite common in certain countries, that you know, just walking somewhere is not something that you do on a regular basis, and that's okay. But when you come here to Glasgow, that's pretty much what everybody does. You walk, yeah, like even walking kind of 20-25 minutes, a little bit more. It's quite acceptable here. Not that the accommodation is that far away. Don't worry. It's only about 2 to 5 minutes away from the college, so it's not far away at all. So nothing to worry about. Okay. So I believe I'm allowed to work about 10 hours a week. How does that work? Is it doable due to class? Does the university offer work placements? And finally, how much would a student earn? Now, there's a lot of questions, and it's going to be a really terrible answer because you are not allowed to work. This, unfortunately, is a mistake as part of your visa, and we will have to report this. Once you register with us, we will have to report this to the Home Office. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes with students, that their visa says that they are allowed to work a certain number of hours, but like I said, this is a mistake, and we will need to report this. On your Tier 4 student visa, and while you are here at the college at GIC, you are not allowed to work or to volunteer. So even if you don't get paid for it, you're not allowed to engage in this. Once you progress to the university, once you are starting your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, you are allowed to work 20 hours per week. And yes, the university has great facilities to provide you with work placements, and I think also even like part-time jobs, and they have an excellent career service as well to find you maybe jobs that are actually suitable to your future career. But like I said, this is only something that you'll be able to do once you have progressed to the university. While you are at GIC, you are not allowed to work. Okay. We'll wait a little bit to see somebody's typing, to see if there's some more questions coming in. Like I said, guys, we've got like another 5 minutes for you. So if you have a couple more questions for us, then we're happy to answer them, of course. Why does that mistake happen? Yeah, well, that's a really good question. Donald, you used to work with visas. Do you know why this happens?
I think it's just for most colleges and universities, students can work, but we are a private college. We receive no government funding, so the rules for us, for all colleges like that, are that students are not allowed to work. And I think sometimes it's just the caseworker that issues the visa. just misses that this is a private college and puts that on your visa.
Yeah.
But we are legally obliged to report that back to the Home Office. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, it does happen.
Human error.
There's not much we can do about it, but sorry, it's not good news.
Yeah, he says, okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
I'd like it if
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it would be,
our
it would be
students
better.
used to be able to work, and I know there's been talk about changes to rules again that might allow them to work, which is something we hope will happen, but unfortunately at the moment,
It's a no.
it's a no.
Okay. Oh, during summer vacation, if we go back to our country, are they allowed to work then? Do you know?
If you're not in the UK, you're
Yeah.
not subject to UK immigration
Yeah.
controls, so you can do what you want. It's just whilst you're in the UK.
Yeah, that you're not allowed to work. Okay, so if you, yeah, thank you for your help. Yes.
You're welcome.
All right,
Yep.
so I think we can wrap it up here. Thank you all for taking part in our last chat today. Like I said, this has been really exciting for us this week. This is the first time we're doing all of this, so we really hope you enjoyed it. Please leave us some feedback. Maybe even some suggestions what you think we could maybe improve, and we will be sure to incorporate that in the next chats that are probably happening maybe for the January intake. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to meeting you in September. Join our Facebook group if you have Facebook. You'll be able to meet some of the other students. I think at the moment we've got about 30 members, and hopefully some more once we send out the email on Monday as well. So you'll be able to meet maybe even already your neighbour or your flatmate in your accommodation. So it'll be great if you join our group there. If you have any more questions, just send us an email, contact us on social media or here on Skype. And we say thank you to you, and thanks to everybody who was here today, Sean, Andrew and Donald, and Ben briefly. And we'll see you in September. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.